You may feel like you're the least talented out of all of your peers, and unless you're extremely humble, that is probably true. But that is okay. You shouldn't be discouraged of being behind. You know, there is a beauty in being behind. This video is for all the artists out there, any type of medium. My perspective comes mainly with my experience being a musician for the last 3 years. But whenever you're young and you start, everyone is kind of on like an equal playing field. For an example, like let's say you get into art in middle school and you're painting or drawing's your thing, or you got into band and everyone is like learning their instrument and your class is still on the same playing field. So that's your competition, that you're entering field. And whenever you enter, you can compete with these peers who are entering with you. So that's the initial competition of trying to become better than the person next to you, and the person next to you trying to be better than you. However, what do you do whenever you lost that competition? Where's my lighter? Today, I'm smoking on L&M Golds. Let's get started. Three years ago, my first band broke up, and all the members started their own bands. I started See You Soon. The drummer, bassist, and guitarist started Once More, and the drummer went on to start 15-Year Duel. So this started at the beginning of the summer. We all formed our bands in, I want to say June. So I was the first band out of my original bandmates to play a show, and I played about 5 shows, and I was wondering why they weren't playing shows, and so I encouraged them to hop on this bill in September, and I planned this whole show, and I got them on it. So they played the first show, and this experience was truly humbling for me. They invited all of their friends, and it was a huge turnout. I had them open the first band Once More played, and it was really cool. It was packed. It was the biggest turnout for any show I've ever played. And the next 15-Year Duel played, and it was again a huge turnout. They're a hardcore band, and there was moshers galore. Like, I was really excited. So we go on third, but by the time we set up, everyone that showed up for the first 2 bands is just in the parking lot, like drinking and fraternizing, and my friends were too, in 15-Year Duel. And the homies in Once More, they stayed and watched, but I genuinely, what was a crowd of like 100 people just disappeared to 7, and that's who I played for. And that experience sent me just spiraling. I ended up quitting the band. We disbanded like 3 months later, but the events leading to that were riddled with insecurities. It was riddled with hatred of like my own music and my own band. And from that show, they started to play more shows, and they were seeing immediate success, while my band, like, we started to fall behind. And that like really bothered me, and I didn't understand it. In hindsight, you know, the music we were making is pop punk, and the scene is, by the way, my voice is shaking because it's cold as fuck outside, but the scene was emo and hardcore. So we were bound to like stick out. We were bound to be niche from the beginning. And I've accepted that. I've come to terms with that. And since then, I've started that band again. We're called See You Soon. Check us out. But in the meantime, after I broke up with that band, I started another band. It was a screamo band called Sophia's Revenge. And the 3 of us, 15-Year Duel, Once More, and Sophia's Revenge, all played shows together, and Sophia's Revenge saw the immediate success that I wanted, and it was amazing. We had Once More was the biggest. We played a backyard show in this very backyard for their album release. There was literally 200 people in here moshing. It was beautiful. Once More got a following of around 800. It got to fuck, I'm cold as fuck. Once More got to 1,000 followers. Sophia's Revenge was at 800, and so was 15-Year Duel. But then the guitarist for Sophia's Revenge left and started another band called Killer Be Killed. So, Killer Be Killed was post-hardcore, and whenever Sophia's Revenge ended because Killer Be Killed started, I went and joined Once More, and Once More is an emo band. So it started with us playing shows together, like how it always was, and we came up and got a following together, and then Killer Be Killed, they got signed to a label really, really fast, and ever since then, they've been playing only hardcore shows, or they'll pop out on an emo show if the bill's really good. But other than that, they just haven't been associating with our band as much. And for a minute, they were having really good success, what you'd see for an average local band. And then they dropped their first EP. It was fucking amazing. Check it out. And then after that, they released a single, and that single, it's called By Your Side, or Leaving Hopes to Its Wit End by Killer Be Killed. Check it out. It's so good. It's better than any of the music that Once More that I have put out. And it got 34,000 streams literally in about a month. And keep in mind, Once More's most streamed song is 27,000 streams. And it's from my first album that I wasn't even on. The old vocalist Ben was still on it at that point, and it came out in 2024. So seeing the type of shows that they're playing and the bands that they're playing with, and their monthly listeners compared to our monthly listeners, that's officially whenever I knew that the competition is pretty much over, and the friends that we started out with have succeeded. Keep in mind, the drummer from 15-Year Duel is the drummer for Killer Be Killed too. So these are literally the day ones. People that I've been associated with for 4 years now, before we even started making music. But the homie Danny in Killer Be Killed, this is who I really want to talk about. He is an extremely talented guitar player, and once again, it wasn't always like that. Whenever we started, we were everyone in this circle of Once More, 15-Year Duel, Sunday But Hours Away, Killer Be Killed. We were amateur musicians, but Danny has genuinely proven himself and ascended to being professional level musician status, and I'm really proud of him, and I find that beautiful. But whenever I saw how everyone is pretty much a professional level on their instrument, and I write pop punk songs, but mainly I just write lyrics and sing, so you can't really compete anymore with that. And so just what I turned to focusing on was myself, and not letting that stop me from creating art, not turning that to me hating my friends, but instead I just started making more art, and I started experimenting in different mediums of art, and now I write, I make collages, I'm working with magazines to publish my shit, I'm on fucking YouTube, I'm started another band that writes acoustic music. Them blowing up is genuinely the most freeing thing that has happened to me, because I stopped having a friendly competition with them to blow up, and instead I'm just being creative again for the sake of being creative. And like taking a step back, whenever you're in competition, you kind of sacrifice your own creativity. You want to fit into the trend the best way as possible, while like still making music. And of course, like, you don't want to sell out and stuff, but that's kind of what happens, and you sacrifice a little bit of your own originality whenever you try to compete with someone else, whether that be you're inspired by someone's painting and y'all work in the same medium in paintings like realism, so you start, like, copying the techniques you do. And there's a difference between inspiration and straight up like ripping off, or going in a direction that someone is going in simply because like you're you like how big it is. And not to say that Once More went post-hardcore because of Kill or Be Killed. We were going post-hardcore before the band even formed, but they definitely got bigger in the post-hardcore scene before we did. And because of that, we like pushed ourselves and released this. And this is secret Once More lore. So anyone from my scene seeing this is canon. This actually happened. This is why our single is out. So I wanted to record our 3 post-hardcore songs to, kind of build up a buzz. And I was inspired, even though Mayhem's a horrible band, by this tape that they did where they recorded it, pressed it on CDs, and only passed out CDs to people in the scene. So I wanted to do this, and we went and recorded some studios at my drummer for See You Soon's house. We recorded some demos at his studio. And they were rushed. Daniel has admitted this since then. He wasn't as experienced as a producer as he is now, and he constantly is like, oh, I wish I could re-record y'all. There's so much shit I would do differently. But we put out this single of like our best post-hardcore song because the other 2 songs, we were like, we're wasting too much time trying to perfect these, because we ended up spending around 2 months recording this demo while we should have been writing an album. And so we put out this single, and the single is like, it's doing subpar. We put it out like about 3 months ago, and it only has 3K streams, and it's like, that's not good performance wise. And audio quality, it could be better. With the vision of the song, we definitely compromise, and it's not really something that I'm proud of listening to today. And I really wish that we didn't put out that demo and we used those practice sessions to write the album. But all this to say is that whenever you find yourself competing with someone and then you lose that competition, you gotta reinvent yourself. And it can be freeing if you don't let it turn into envy, and if you don't let it poison your heart with hatred. You will find yourself creating for the reasons why you got into creating for the first place. And in a sense, you're kind of like, I'm good, I'm fine. There's a lot of pressure that's taken off of your shoulders. And ever since like Once More has kind of been humbled, we have been creating these extremely unique songs that I'm really excited to put out and to show y'all. They're emo core, they're not post-hardcore. They literally have all the influences of emo since first wave to fifth wave, including post-hardcore, including metalcore. It's beautiful. The musicians are extremely talented, but we're not trying to like compete with anyone. We are just trying to make a badass emo album now. And now personally, I'm just trying to make badass art. And I feel like we could all take that lesson as artists, that maybe we shouldn't be competing. You can use it to get better, but as soon as it poisons your heart and poisons your creative output, that's whenever it's too far. And we shouldn't like let envy dictate us. I will say, like, something kind of fucked up is a couple of members of the bands that I mentioned, whenever our careers were first starting, they were like, yeah, man, we used to like talk shit about your band, See You Soon, just because we were jealous that we weren't like playing shows yet, that y'all were already doing shit and we couldn't. But now they're bigger than us, and I don't talk shit about them. Only thing I do miss, guys, if y'all are watching this, I miss how much we hang out. I miss how much we saw each other. I wish y'all came around more. I wish we hung out more. I miss y'all, and I'm just putting this out there. Ever since y'all got signed to the label, y'all been busy, I understand. But it's like, don't forget about your homeboy, yo. I literally was there for all of y'all at the beginning. I miss y'all. But, yeah, for anyone still watching and cares about, like, my band and knows about it once more, humbly stating, Killer Be Killed, so much better than Once More. Go fuck with their music. It's great. Everything they have out right now, it's better than what Once More has out. But I'm not giving up. I will say that, this album that we're gonna put out, it's gonna be the best quality that we have ever put out, and all of the songs are shit that I'm proud of, that everyone's proud of, and we're gonna take our time in the studio. We're not gonna disappoint y'all, and yeah, I'm excited for this album. Also, my hands are all fucked up because I dyed my girlfriend's hair today. Thank y'all for watching.